Good. Okay, so this is what the little vest looks like. If you wanted to finish the little vest, you could add like a little trim around there, and I can talk to you about how to finish things another time. But next, if you want to make it into a jacket, which I sort of started here, it needs sleeves. Okay, so we're going to put those sleeves on, and the sleeves look like this when they are not sewn together, and then you sew them together by putting them together. Make sure you're doing right sides together. So if there's a side of fabric you prefer to be outside, make sure you're aware of that. Put your presser foot down, stitch about 5 stitches as usual, back stitch, keeping your fabric against the presser foot, back stitch at the end, and forward stitch till you finish. Take your fabric out, and that's what it looks like sewn together. Cut your threads as you go so that you don't have to do that at the end. Then bring your sleeve right side out like so, and just kind of have to, you all know how to do this part. You can use the scissors closed to help you sort of push that out. There we go. Okay, now we have a sleeve, and it's going to be wider up here and narrower down here. See how that's like a little bit longer on the side? This is the top, this is the underarm. And so what we want to do here is we want to get that to fit there, but they need to be attached on the outside. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put a pin, putting seam to seam together. Actually, no seam. You could do that seam on the bottom, but what I'm going to do, this is really hard to do on such a small scale. This is probably the hardest sewing that you're going to do if you choose to make one of these. Okay, so then what you're going to do here is pin that little tiny baby arm at the top there. Okay, and then we're going to basically kind of like tuck it inside like this. Do I need to go back and show that again?
I think it was
Clear? Okay. And then we can pin the inside in that same manner, and you are going to put seam to seam together. So this seam to that seam. And so then I will get my other little pin and pin that right there. So now I have it pinned together, and I'm going to see how it's all pinned together now. And then what we're going to do is just whip stitch around that whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom here, and I'm going to go ahead and stick my needle in, and I'm just going to whip it around. Got my knot there, and I am sewing both of these pieces together. Good angle?
Yeah.
And you want to keep these nice and tight until you get all the way around. You're just whipping it around. Keep kind of lining it up so that it's not, get it coming apart, and you're actually capturing both pieces. But that's how you get that done. And I got to go all the way around. I'm just going to go halfway, and I'm not going to sew, just so you can see it. And then I'll just do the half so you can see what it looks like halfway. You can see I kind of pulled it, so I'm just gonna bring that back out together. Okay, now I'm halfway, and I'm gonna go ahead and just close that stitch off. Make sure you do 2 knots like always. 1, 2. Okay, and now I'm gonna cut that. Now, mind you, I only did half. So you can take this pin out, but it is now attached halfway on. This is probably the hardest little stitch to do. Okay. All right, have fun.